Play is important in the hospital because it's also a part of child's growth and development. It's how children learn to make friends. It's how they learn to take turns. It's how they learn to play with blocks and paint. And really the first 5 or 6 years of life is when we play, and after that we are sort of expected to be a little bit more grown up. And I think that it shouldn't stop in the hospital. There should be continuity. And if you think of us as adults, one of the first things we say, either on a Thursday or a Friday morning, is, what are you doing this weekend? And I think what we're saying is we're going to get away from working a little bit and we're going to have a bit of play on our own, whether it's a movie or theater or going to beach or running or a race or travel. And we all need the break. But for children, it involves a lot of growth, and the growth comes from the experience of playing. Well, when I started in 1964, it really in many ways was not a field. We were called the Play Ladies, and it was the Department of Recreation and Education. Wheelock College did have a class in, and I can't remember, maybe it was called Child Life, but it certainly was filled with courses in child development, early childhood education. And it's grown over the years. There's now an organization called the Child Life Council. There's certification in the field. There are undergraduate and graduate courses. There are maybe 4 or 5 colleges around the country that really specialize in the field. People sometimes get an undergraduate degree and a graduate degree in child life, or somebody may have a degree in biology and then decide that they've discovered the field of child life and go for a graduate degree. But it's changed dramatically, and the standards have changed, and there are real requirements for it. It's changed enormously because there was not the level of internships and the sort of the expectations and qualifications for a 480-hour internship is extraordinary, or for internships in ambulatory and in other settings. It's not, child life internships and training doesn't just take place in inpatient settings. It can take place in outpatient settings. It can take place in child development centers. It can take place in doctors' offices. Because what we do is try to support patients and families, and a lot of the work now is with procedures and avoiding the sedation and distracting during procedures, so that in fact the procedure can take place in a shorter period of time. Child life specialists bring to the table at Children's things that are familiar from home. So when parents come to the hospital, the environment is really quite sterile in many ways, no matter how hard all of the departments work to have colors and fun sheets and curtains and paintings on windows. What the child life department does, and the child life specialists, is bring to the activity rooms much of what is at home. And so it bridges the gap between home and hospital. There is a sense of continuity. We try to help the patients, the families, the siblings have some understanding that everybody is here to help the kids get better, and that sometimes there are painful procedures and painful surgery, but we're here to support them along with the entire medical team. As the director of Child Life, I have oversight not only of the Child Life specialists, but also the volunteers, our hospital school program, the Big Apple Circus Clown Care program, the music and art program. And those are all things that are familiar to children. There is very little that's really familiar to the children when they come here, especially when they are new admissions and have never had the hospital experience. So whatever can be made familiar can help them adjust to the hospital. We always tell them to bring things from home to help make that transition, but it's nice when they can find it here and suddenly see a playroom when they can play, and also where they can make choices. There are very few choices here. Children are expected to take their medications at a certain time, have physical therapy at a certain time, go to the bathroom, have respiratory therapy. It's all pretty programmed. So in the playroom or with child life staff, they have choices in terms of what they want to do, when they want to do it, and if in fact they don't want to do it. And that to me is very important. I think of a circle of care at Children's where there are doctors and nurses and social workers and nutritionists and respiratory therapists and volunteers and every possible person who could contribute to the positive outcome for kids. And I think the child life specialists become a very important part of that circle, that it becomes incomplete when there isn't what we have to offer to children. And now we're even offering support in the operating rooms, whether it be inpatient or ambulatory, in the ICUs. We're offering child life support in radiology and nuclear medicine to help children, and in the emergency department to help patients and families during invasive procedures so that we don't have to sedate kids. We use distraction and support. So I can't see the care without it.